Are you seeking a straightforward method that doesn't rely on visualization to manifest your desires? If so, this video is tailored for you because today, I will introduce one of Neville's favorite techniques that doesn't necessitate visualization skills. Moreover, this method enables you to manifest multiple desires simultaneously. Make sure to stay tuned until the end of this video to grasp how it works. While we are familiar with engaging in visualization sessions to manifest specific desires, what if you have numerous wishes you want to bring into reality? Consider a scenario where your boyfriend left and you desire his return, but you also need a new job, a better apartment, a new car due to your current one falling apart, and you aim to lose weight or improve your health. Employing traditional techniques like visualization and affirmations for each of these desires individually can become overwhelming, especially if you want to manifest multiple things concurrently. In such cases, Neville's technique comes in handy, particularly if you struggle with visualization, as it doesn't require that skill. You can incorporate visualization if you wish, but it's not obligatory, and the method works just as effectively without it. Neville Goddard, a spiritual teacher in the United States during the first half of the 20th century, asserted that the human imagination is God. According to Neville, if you have a desire, you can manifest it in your physical world by directing your imagination toward the scenario as if you already possessed that desire. Let me share the method first, followed by some quotes from Neville's lectures and books, along with success stories from individuals who applied this method to manifest their desires. This technique is called "Isn't It Wonderful?" Here's how to use it. Instead of fixating on each specific thing you wish to manifest and attempting to visualize the scene where you already have it, capture the feeling of already having that thing in your life. For instance, if you desire a new car, immerse yourself in the emotions you'd feel if you had it right now. Perhaps you'd feel joyous with your new car or relieved that your old car is replaced by a new and reliable one for your daily commute. To manifest more things simultaneously, include the feelings of having those things along with the new car. Imagine how you'd feel if, in this very moment, you had a new car, a new job, and your ex not only returned but also apologized and proposed to you. Embrace the joy of everything in your life changing for the better, of having everything you desire. While still immersed in that emotion, repeat to yourself continually, "Isn't it wonderful?" The effectiveness of this technique lies in the understanding that we often believe feelings of joy or relief result from having things in the physical world. However, the reality is the reverse. Feelings of joy are what bring about the manifestation of desired things in the physical world. If you can feel joy now, if you can feel the joy of already possessing those desired things in your imagination, they are bound to manifest in your physical world. Now, let me share Neville's insights on this method, and then we'll proceed to success stories. This excerpt is from a pamphlet released in 1948 titled Neville CL Instructor, which includes a series of 5 demonstration lessons and a question-and-answer session. A link to the complete pamphlet is provided in the description below for your reference after watching this video. The text is extracted from the question-and-answer session of the CL Lessons pamphlet. Is it possible to imagine several things at once, or should I limit my imagination to just one desire? Personally, I prefer to limit my imaginative act to a single thought, but that doesn't mean I stop there. Throughout a day, I can imagine many things. Instead of imagining many small things, I suggest that you imagine something so grand that it includes all the small things. Instead of imagining wealth, health, friends separately, imagine being in ecstasy. You cannot be in ecstasy and suffer. You cannot be in ecstasy and be threatened with an eviction notice. You cannot be in ecstasy if you are not enjoying all friendship and love. How would you feel if you were in ecstasy without knowing what happened to produce it? Reduce the idea to a single feeling. What a wonder! Don't let the irrational conscious mind ask why, for if it does, it will begin to look for visible causes, and then the feeling will be lost. Instead, repeat again and again, "Isn't it wonderful?" Suspend judgment on what is wonderful. Capture the single sensation of wonder. Do not let the conscious mind ask why. Repeat over and over, "Isn't it wonderful?" Suspend judgment on what is wonderful. Capture the single sensation of wonder, and events will witness to the truth of this feeling. I promise you it will include all the little things. Neville's perspective on using this technique to manifest multiple desires simultaneously is outlined above. Now, let's delve into a success story of a woman who applied this technique to bring about significant changes in her life. The following success story is extracted from Neville's book The Law and the Promise, Chapter 7. The lady in the story that follows felt so vividly the realization of her desire that she made her mental drama a nightly delight, frozen into a delightful sleep. Most of us read and enjoy fairy tales, but we all know that stories of improbable riches and good luck are for the delight of children, don't we? But I want to tell you of an incredibly wonderful thing that happened to me through the power of my imagination. And I am not young in years. We live in an age that believes neither in fables nor in magic, and yet everything I could wish for in my wildest dreams was given to me by the simple fact that you teach that imagination creates reality, and that feeling is the secret of imagination. At the time this wonder happened to me, I was unemployed and had no family to fall back on. I needed almost everything to find a decent job. I needed a car to search for one, and although I had a car, it was so worn out it was about to fall apart. I was behind in rent, had no suitable clothes to job hunt, and it's not fun for a 55-year-old woman to apply for any kind of job these days. My bank account was almost depleted, and I had no friend to turn to. But I had been attending your classes for almost a year, and desperation forced me to put my imagination to the test. In fact, I had nothing to lose. It was natural for me, I suppose, to begin by imagining that I had everything I needed. So many things in so little time that I found myself exhausted when I finally finished the list. By that time, I was so excited that I couldn't sleep. On a conference night, I heard about an artist who embodied in his personal experience the feeling or the word, as he calls it, "Isn't it wonderful?" I started applying this concept to my own life. Instead of contemplating and visualizing all the things I lacked, I endeavored to capture the sensation of those events unfolding for me, not in some distant future, but in the present moment. I consistently affirmed to myself, "Isn't it wonderful that something extraordinary is happening to me right now?" As I drifted into sleep, I immersed myself in the emotions I hoped to experience in those circumstances. I repeated this mental exercise and imaginative feeling every night for 2 months. One day, in early October, I unexpectedly encountered a casual acquaintance I hadn't seen in months. He mentioned his upcoming trip to New York, and we briefly discussed the city before parting ways. I soon forgot about the encounter. A month later, this acquaintance called me and handed me a certified check for $10,000 in my name. Seeing my name on a check for such a substantial amount was initially shocking, and the unfolding narrative felt surreal. It turned out to be a friend from over 25 years ago whom I hadn't been in touch with during that time. This long-lost friend, I discovered, had amassed significant wealth over those 25 years. The mutual acquaintance who delivered the check had coincidentally met him during last month's trip to New York. In their conversation, my name surfaced for reasons unknown to me, as I never had any personal news about him, and I hadn't made any attempts to reach out. This old friend decided to share a portion of his substantial wealth with me. For the next 2 years, I received monthly checks from his lawyer's office, covering not only the necessities of daily life but also allowing for all the enjoyable aspects: a car, clothing, a spacious apartment, and, most importantly, freedom from the need to earn a daily living. Last month, I received a letter and guardianship papers to sign, ensuring the continuation of this monthly income for the remainder of my natural life. I find this story fascinating because, as evident, this woman had simultaneous needs for various things. Instead of addressing each requirement individually, she chose to embrace the sensation of possessing all those things, the feeling that remarkable and joyful changes had already taken place in her life. Every night, she went to sleep feeling the wonder of these sensational events, repeating to herself, "Isn't it wonderful?" Through a sequence of unforeseeable events, within a few months, she found herself surrounded by all these wonderful things in her physical reality. Here's another success story utilizing this method, emphasizing Neville's idea that imagination creates reality. Let me share with you the story of a woman I know. When this lady was around 16 years old, she resided in Northern California, devoted to her father, who lived a comfortable and attractive life. He used to provide well for the entire family until the day he was tragically killed. Overnight, the family found themselves with nothing. The mother, feeling she couldn't bear the scorn of their current situation, decided to move the family to San Francisco. Despite possessing exceptional artistic talent, the girl took on a job as a waitress to support the family. On her first Christmas Eve in the new city, while riding the tram home, she found it filled with joyous, singing children, and she couldn't hold back her tears. Fortunately, it was raining, so she tilted her face to the sky and let the rain mix with her tears. Tasting the salt from her tears, she convinced herself, "This isn't a tram, it's a boat, and I'm not savoring my tears but the sea salt in the wind." While physically gripping the tram railing, she mentally touched the railing of a ship bound for Samoa, feeling the air shimmering on her body and hearing a voice saying, "It's not a heavenly night." 2 weeks later, she received a $1,000 check from a Chicago law firm. Apparently, 2 years earlier, her aunt had left the United States, with instructions that if she didn't return, the money should go to her niece. A month later, the girl found herself on a ship heading to Samoa. As she entered the bay, she witnessed the ship sailing in the waters, leaving a beautiful white foam in its wake. When the moonlight touched the wake and the spray touched her face, a man nearby remarked, "It's not a heavenly night." In that moment, her outer senses experienced what she had vividly brought to life using her inner senses. Imagination, being the spiritual sensation, is the creator of the world. With her vision, hearing, taste, and touch indulged, she transformed a San Francisco tram into the Pacific Navy. In the span of a month, she physically realized her imaginative act. Some might attribute it to mere coincidence, but it wasn't, it was reality. Whether you believe it or not, from personal experience, I know that God and you share a great imagination, and there is no other God. One day, your imagination will awaken, and you, fully cognizant of who you truly are, will realize that all things are subject to you. That is your destiny. The woman in this story employed visualization alongside the "Isn't it wonderful" method, and once again, through a sequence of events she could never have foreseen or orchestrated through physical means, she achieved her desire. Now, you can also incorporate visualization along with the "Isn't it wonderful" method if it aids in capturing the feeling of already having your desires and how joyful and amazing it would be. However, if you struggle with visualization, it's not a necessity. As evident, this method works remarkably well even without visualization. So, why not take a few moments today to feel the wonderful sensation of having all your desires? I suggest leaving a comment saying, "I release my dreams and desires for the universe to conspire in my favor." By expressing this, you are giving your consent for your desires to materialize. Now, proceed to the next video to continue learning how to manifest the life you want. But not before giving a like, hitting the bell, and subscribing to the channel, because I promise your life will change in an incredible way. I wish you the best in your life, and see you in the next video.